Hey guys, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. So, The Impossible Astronaut, I really, really loved the episodes. I mean, there were parts of it that I really didn't like, but they all seemed really solid, and they set up the season for a really good, nice, like, mystery solving type thing to figure out what the F is going on. The very first part of the episode, right before, after everyone gets their envelopes, but right before the intro happens, they show like weird snippets of Amy's and the doctor's past, which everyone's saying how like this episode isn't new viewer friendly, which is totally true. But I think they put that little snippet in because it wasn't new viewer friendly, and they wanted to like show a little bit of what the doctor is and who Amy is, and just show them like what is kind of happening, even though it's not really giving away much, and they're not really giving enough information for the episode to really like sink in and them to understand what's going on. I really liked how they called America a planet, which I thought was really funny. My friend said Doctor Who, the only TV show where the twist ending is at the beginning, because there's all that wibbly wobbly timey wimey nonsense, and Stephen Moffat really likes to mess with our heads, and he killed the Doctor, and now everything is just WTF. Like, I don't know what to do with myself now that I know that, and I mean, there's probably ways to get out of it, but I feel like it's not easy to get out of that, and it just really surprised me. Like, the episode was really, I really actually started kind of caring about River until she said that, until she said that the doctor's death doesn't scare her, because that seems so selfish and horrible, because I thought she loved him. Like, I don't like her at all, but she loves the doctor, and her not caring that he's dead, well, she cares, but like her not being afraid of it, because the doctor is the most amazing thing in like all of time and space, and she doesn't, like, she's not scared of that. I don't understand how that works, because once the doctor's gone, I feel like if the doctor ever is gone, I feel like everything's just gonna go to shit. So, sorry for the language. The envelopes are really cool. I want some to throw a party. There is the worst slap I've ever seen on television with River and the Doctor. The second time that Amy saw the Forget-Me-Nots, or they're called the Silence. I'm sorry that the Forget-Me-Nots didn't stick, because the second episode actually called them the Silence. When Amy sees them the second time and says, "I remember," it was kind of a flashback to the previous season, which kind of scared me, because I thought maybe something was like carrying over and she would have to remember something and it would just be bad. The Crossroads is really, really cool. The Hamilton, Jefferson, Adams, I think. I thought that was cool. But the girl, it was obviously a little girl. And I don't see how Nixon couldn't just say, "Oh, it's a little girl." And I just think Nixon was kind of stupid at that point. I mean, it was a really good idea to have the doctor be able to figure it out, but, you know, I feel like that's something that a FBI could figure out or something. What else? The doctor was really adorable in a lot of parts of this. Oh, I loved how the doctor questioned River. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like, he's always just kind of gone along with it. Well, not always, but he's just gone along with, like, "Oh yeah, I kind of know who you are, so I'm just gonna go with this." But like, he finally just came out and said, "I don't trust you. I'm not gonna follow you blindly into this mess. You're going home unless somebody else can tell me something that will change my mind. Because River, you killed someone. I don't know who it is. I don't know who you are. I don't trust you." And it was just great to see him not trust River for that moment. Like, it was just the most amazing thing. What else? This is gonna be a really bad review. I'm really sorry. I really, really liked The Impossible Astronaut. I think it was a really great episode. I wish it came later in the season instead of in the very beginning, because that doesn't really make sense to have an episode like that big at the beginning of a season, because Doctor Who is something that's supposed to be new viewer friendly almost all the time. Like, you can just jump right into the middle of Doctor Who and get the gist of what's happening, and it kind of bugs me that it wasn't like that in this episode. What else? At the very end, I cared more about Rory. Like, River was doing her monologue thing, and during that whole part, I cared more about what Rory, like, the facial expressions that Rory had than what River was actually saying, and it was really annoying. And when Amy shot the kid and told the doctor she was pregnant, I was really confused. Like, I thought the kid was probably her child. Like, I got that really fast. And then she shoots it, and like that look on her face like was pure terror, and it was just crazy. And it was just weird to see Amy with a gun shooting people, because she knows how the doctor feels about guns, and I don't really think that that would be a typical thing that she would normally do. But, you know, it was just a situation, I guess. I don't know, it was weird. And then I'm going to go into Day of the Moon now. So I don't have anything written down about it. I watched it earlier today, so I'm going to try to like recall everything that happened. I really, really like this episode too. I was watching TARDIS-tacular today, and Rosianna said how she thinks like it wasn't really, like the plot wasn't really summed up very well, like at the very end with the whole moon landing thing, and in putting in the two things, which I totally agree with. The Silence, I think, is the scariest alien that Doctor Who has ever had. Like, the Weeping Angels was my top, like scary, like I would get nightmares every time I saw the episodes, until Flesh and Stone, I think, when they showed the angels moving, and they don't scare me anymore, because every time they were on screen they wouldn't move. And I mean, I shouldn't, like, the Silence, I can remember them, so it kind of doesn't take that away, but it's just so plausible for something like that to happen, like you not remembering, like you go into a room and don't remember why you went in there and stuff. Like, I think the Silence is the scariest thing ever, because it could actually happen. Like, that could be really plausible, that you just don't remember it. What else? So it starts out 3 months later, which really confused me, like, and then all, like, the tick marks and Amy and Rory getting shot. Like, I was so scared, like, in the first, like, 5 minutes, like, what was happening. I was just freaking out and, like, on the verge of tears, because Rory and Amy were both shot, and the doctor was all chained up and all scruffy, which was really cute. I like the scruffy doctor. But, and all the tick marks on their arms, like, it was the scariest thing I've ever seen. And it was such a good idea to have the tick marks and then have the, like, recording, like, things. And then when Rory found the recording thing on the floor of the orphanage, and, like, Amy was talking through it, and the doctor said something, and, like, it was only one way, and Rory's like, no, she can always hear me. She knows I'm coming for her. Amy knows I'm going to find her, which I thought was the cutest thing ever. Like, Amy and Rory, you can just tell they truly love each other, and it's just the best thing to see. Like, him waiting for her for 2,000 years, and then him just saying, no, she knows I'm coming for her, it's okay. But it was so sad when he didn't think that she was talking to him, and she was talking to the doctor, and he thought that she loved the doctor, which is so not the case. But I'm going to kind of skip ahead. I mean, I love this episode so much, and there's a lot of, like, little points that I would love to talk about, but I don't really have time. So, I'm going to talk about the very end, which is the Time Lord, like, child thing, or just the regenerating girl. Like, how could that even happen? And how can they not know if Amy is pregnant or not? How can the TARDIS not, like, I know it makes sense, like, because it could be, like, some unknown thing that's going to happen, and it's, like, in a state of flux in the time, like, axes and stuff. And I don't know, it's just, I don't know how that would happen, and why would the kid be in America if it's Amy's baby? That's what I don't get. But yeah, it just really scares me, like, because since the doctor's dead, apparently, I mean, there's still ways to get out of it, but the doctor's dead, and there's a new Time Lord. So they could be taking the doctor out, but then it wouldn't be Doctor Who. It would just be Time Lord Dennis, yes. And then when River left the doctor, it seemed really odd, because River doesn't know who killed the doctor yet. She doesn't know what happened, and she's just gonna leave. Like, she's just gonna go back into her cell and not care who shot the doctor. Like, I understand why they don't tell us who it is, because that's something that should be wrapped up in, like, the season finale, but River just leaving in the middle of something like that doesn't make any sense. And then when they made out, and he's like, well, that was weird, and she's like, oh, we've never done that before or something, and I'm like, okay, this is just odd. I don't want to see that, because their relationship is horrible, and I hate River. She's such a B word, and yeah. So, I know these reviews are really bad. because I had to put 2 together and my videos keep running really, really long. But I loved both the episodes. I know there's problems with it, but I mean, there's always like something weird happening in Doctor Who, but I can't complain about the episodes. So yeah, catchphrase.